All right, guys, we are back, and as promised, we're going to look at some amazing, amazing covers. This again from the Jim Lee Artist Edition with Scott Williams and Thibert inking, and it's magnificent. So today we're going to check out these covers. We're going to look at them in detail, in depth, and just marvel at all these wonderful marvels. Also, real quick, again, please check out the subscriptions, the memberships, guys. If you want to become a member of the channel, please check those out. There's 3 tiers. You could be a sidekick, you could be a hero, or you can be a superhero. And each one coming with new and different and awesome perks. So, for instance, if you want to be a superhero, you could tune into the Fan Art Friday videos and comment with a character of your choice, and if you're the first one, I will draw it on stream and you will get the original artwork from it as well. So just one of the many cool perks for becoming a member. So check those out. I appreciate y'all. But again, let's get to these amazing inks. This here from Scott Williams, inking over Jim Lee. This is X-Men 58, Uncanny X-Men number 58. Awesome, awesome stuff. So if you're not familiar with Jim Lee started out with Marvel on Alpha Flight, did a handful of issues, became the regular penciler on that, and then started working on Punisher War Journal with Carl Potts. And after a few issues, after drawing Wolverine versus the Punisher, Marvel saw his potential, his talent, and gave him a steady run on Uncanny X-Men, which, I mean, is like the tippy top of the mountain for any artist who wants to work at Marvel. Uncanny X-Men was it. And he was working with Chris Claremont. And this book right here, I think, really probably put Jim Lee on the map. Scott Williams inking him. See how his signature kind of changed from where it is today. But those two are the deadly duo. They just kick ass. I don't know how to say it any other way except they just kick ass. Two of the best doing what they do. And this was such an awesome issue, which we did look at earlier in the book. So if you missed it, go back to the beginning, and we looked at the actual pages from that. Captain America, Wolverine, and of course Black Widow. Just awesome, awesome pages. They're really getting their stride at that point. And I think around, I don't know. I mean, all of it's amazing and awesome. I think, by the time they get to X-Men #1, the relaunch, I think they're kind of like they've found their stride. They're doing their thing, and but there is something really special about those early issues of Uncanny X-Men. They're really, really good. Dun, dun, dun. And every artist is different. They kind of change a bit over time. Jim's early work was very, very detailed. And then as he goes along, it kind of like, it's still detailed, but it's just kind of refined. And it's still awesome, still beautiful, but just a little different. Not so much of the crinkly marks in the hands and the fingers. This kind of disappears a little bit over time, or just gets refined. Maybe finds a better way to do it. But, some of this kind of disappears a little bit, or gets refined. But it just gets better and better. So, this is just great stuff. So because this will be the end of the Marvel Comics book, I do have a DC and Wildstorm 11x17 artist edition that we will check out eventually after this. But I'll take a bit of a break, give you guys a break from all the awesome Jim Lee art, and we'll pick that up at another time. But this is a great cover. Jim Lee is just so good at getting these Just amazing images that just will stick in your mind probably for all eternity. But that's all right. They're awesome. The fight scenes though are like what I really enjoy, which we're gonna see in a minute. But yeah, just how he creates such dynamic and fun fight scenes between characters. So this is Scott Williams. He's got those big, fat, chunky brush lines that Scott Williams does. You got thick underneath, thinner on the side. And then there's kind of like double lines. Typical awesome Scott Williams Jim Lee stuff. Let's go back over here. Let's get a little closer here. Those dark shadows. Just great volume, like creating the shapes in the arm and deltoid bicep. It's great shading, man. Other people do it, but few do it as well as Jim Lee. Mark Silvestri is great. There are others, but to me, as someone said in the comics last time, I mean, this is just like quintessential comic book art right here. When you think of comic book art, I think Jim Lee. It's just, the faces are just spot on. The dynamics, the energy, all that stuff is just like, bam. Wolverine about to kick some booty of Omega Red. Look at that. The brush is just so good at getting just amazing lines. Love it. Like I said last video, like nothing is flat. Everything just kind of like pops. The shading just adds to the feel of it all. It's great. Beautiful lines here, thick to thin. So good. And this is Scott Williams. And then here's what I'm talking about. Talk about like the just awesome fight scene covers, man. This is it right here. Omega Red. Another one of Jim Lee's creations. Just the blood everywhere. It's just awesome. It don't get no better than that right there. And you got like the stuff flying. Just, it is awesome. See the interior of his forearm there. So cool. All right, what else we got? Number 6. Oh yeah. Maverick's Mask, Psylocke, and of course Sabretooth, who we're gonna see in the Deadpool Wolverine movie again. That'll be fantastic. All right, here we go. Art Thibert. Also fantastic inks. This pose, I feel like this could totally be Zealot. Just change out the colors, give her a few lines on her face, and there you go, it's Zealot from the Wildcats. But, let's get a little closer here. These little loopy lines in the face. You always got to have one of those covers that's like, yep, the bad guys have the upper hand, What will happen next? Awesome cover. This is Art Thibert as well. I wonder how he got these lines here. I wonder what he's using. I heard some guys use like one of those rollers that you like push in. Like if you have a screen door, there's like that thin little rubber thing that sticks in there that keeps the screen in. I heard they kind of like they could use a roller or like a pizza cutter. But I don't know, but it's cool, man. Trying different stuff, getting some cool effects in the background. But yeah, man, Art Thibert, his inks are clean. And just notice, like, it's not like you're just going over this whole thing. He's like stopping and going, kind of like building up the form. You know, it's got wrinkles and creases, and it's like he's, you know, the outer line is kind of mimicking the inner part there, and it's just, it's not tracing. Inking is not tracing at all. You got to know where to get thick, you got to know where to get thin, and just create a good looking mass. Because as I always say, this is not an arm. This is not a jacket. It's just a bunch of lines on a paper to make it look like an arm and a jacket. And so however you can get those lines looking so good to make it look like a jacket, that's what you want to do. And these guys deal in illusion. Just a bunch of lines on a piece of paper. Hey, look, they put some lines down. It looks like a face. Look at that. There's a peck and an arm. What are those lines? They're just lines on a piece of paper. And these guys have mastered putting lines on paper to make it look amazing. The best it could possibly be. So hands down, these guys are the best. White check ink in this one. Nice. So this issue I do not own, but soon. It should be coming in the mail today, actually. I'm finally going to own the last Marvel comic that Jim Lee penciled until he moved to Image. Of course, he came back later on, but this was the last of the X-Men run, so I have to complete my set, which I think at this point, I think I have all of them. But I will soon own this book, so I'm excited about that. All right, here we go. This is like a poster or a promo. I don't know. I know I've seen it, but this is some cool stuff right here. Got Rogue. Got Wolverine looking dapper. Look at that. Beast over here. It says Jim Lee inking right here. So it's always fun to see an artist ink himself and see kind of like, you know, how they do it, little differences and stuff like that. What else we got? All right, so if you want to see more of Jim Lee inking Jim Lee, we've got the trading cards that he did for the whole X-Men set. Gosh, I forget what year that was. But first, real quick, we've got Alpha Flight 89. So they kind of went back to forward and then back again. So here we are. And I believe this is Jim Lee inking himself as well. Yep. Which again, you can kind of always tell. Just the lines are different, you know. Not super refined. Not quite as beautiful as Scott Williams. They're cool, but there's a difference. There's a difference. You know, not super thick to thin here, just kind of... Oh, what's this? The wall is going down into Wolverine's leg here. Forgot the white out there. Need some white out there. Somebody help. Yeah. See what I mean? These are just kind of like, he's just drawing, like, not thick to thin. It's just kind of like he's just putting lines down, probably, you know, with like a Copic or a pen or something. But those lines are quick. They are not typical of a, let's say, a good inker, you know, thick to thin, kind of. This is kind of like probably how he pencils. But either way, it's awesome. I still dig it. It's just not the same. Iceman in the house. Now, if you guys probably own these. I know I do. I have the whole set. I have like a set and a half, and I love these cards. So these are 2 up on 11x17. So we got Beast, and we've got Iceman. And again, Jim Lee is inking himself here. But this set is great. It's so good. I mean, it's like everybody from the X-Men universe. And Jim Lee draws them all. And I wonder, like, how much time was he spending on these? I think this is the Hellfire Club, if I'm not mistaken. Awesome. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, how long was he spending on these, you know? I've heard Jim Lee can do a page in, like, an hour. And this is from J. Scott Campbell, or somebody mentioned that. Like, Jim Lee would come in an office and, like, in an hour he busted out a page. It's like, what? That's insane. So I don't know how long these took, but, you know, I mean, on the trees and stuff, you could use a thicker marker. You know, and a lot of these, there's just kind of like heavy blacks. Not in these so much, but I'll show you. Yeah, but curious, man. How long did it take? Some white out for effects and stuff. I mean, and then you'll see some of them, even the backgrounds. Looks like he left for Paul Mounts to color. Got Lockheed down here. But you see here how you got like the thicker line here. It's like kind of more thick to thin. He's building up the mass, and like this is where it looks really good. And it's just like kind of pops, right? It's not flat. That's what a good inker does. You know. But when Jim inks himself, I mean, a lot of these lines kind of, you know, just straightforward. But if it was R.T. Bear or Scott Williams, there'd be more flair. It'd look nicer. Again, not saying I don't like it. I do like it, but just pointing out for you inkers out there, for you guys, there's just something different about it. But I think that's what makes these cards so cool, because it's like all Jim Lee. And that's a beautiful Archangel right there. So like here you'll see like, you know, heavier blacks. Just kind of throwing down heavier black to get it done. Storm. Got some Zipatone. So here he just kind of threw down some lines, so I'm assuming Paul Mounts is going to throw the color in there. Make some lightning and such. We got Feral. Dun, dun, dun. Kind of Rob Lee-esque there with the face a bit. But awesome stuff. Warpath. Bam. Very, very cool. Very cool. So like the background, just thicker, chunkier lines. Kind of like Magnolia-ish. Alright, what else we got? A few more pages here, guys. A few more pages looking at these awesome cards. Oh, dang. Here we go. Bishop. An awesome card. That was a favorite. The Kirby Crackle going on. Super cool. And then Boom Boom. I keep thinking it's going to turn, but it doesn't turn. Boom Boom. Homage. Look at that. Always those little Homage Studio kind of head nods in there. Homage, whatever. We got Rogue. Awesome. Love that headshot. That's great. Again, leaving the background somebody else. And then a lot of these have these things. Please shoot blue lines at 100% and messenger to Paul Mounts. So I don't know quite what that means. Shoot blue lines to 100% and messenger to Paul Mounts. So I don't know if that means they're getting rid of the blue lines or if they're like amping them up so you can kind of, you could use that for colors to just color over. I have no idea. Magneto. Beautiful. Great stuff. Awesome. That's awesome right there. Cool stuff. But see how the lines are like detached and stuff? It just looks so cool. You know, there's some power floating in there. Alright, last page. Oh dang, Sabretooth. Oh yeah. See, just big thick lines thrown down there. That's great. And he just captures like faces so well, the characters so well. He's one of the greats. His name is upside down. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, the Blob. He's always a favorite. Toad. Mutant Liberation Front. Very cool. Well, I think that is it. That is, and there he is, Jim Lee himself. So this kind of gives you the rundown of his whole story. Born on August 11th, 1964, Seoul, South Korea. But what's amazing about this, if you've probably already read his bio, but if you haven't, basically he was going to go to, was it law school? Medical school. He was in medical school, Princeton. Hey, Princeton, from my hometown in New Jersey. Home state of New Jersey. But he's going to be studied to do medical, whatever. And then he took off 1 year. 1 year to work on artwork and get samples ready. Sent him in. And within a year, of course he got rejection letters. But then at New York Comic Con, Archie Goodwin saw his stuff and then sent him over to Carl Potts. And he got his first gig on Alpha Flight. But it's just, that's crazy, man. His parents wanted him to, you know, go to medical school, be a doctor or something. He's like, well, I really want to draw, guys. Can I just give me 1 year? And he manages to break in. So he's phenomenal. I love this guy's art. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Went a little long, but thanks for tuning in. Next time we look at one of these books, it will be the DC Universe art and Wildstorm art of Jim Lee. So we're going to get to see some Wildcats, Deathblow, Divine Right, Gen 13, and then, of course, Batman and all that good stuff. So it's going to be fantastic. If you've missed any of these videos, go back and look through, but they're all posted up on the site. So thank you again. Until next time, peace!